So next you are going to learn about the types of pollination. So types of pollination, so you will be studying self-pollination and cross-pollination. So what are the two types of pollination? Pollination types. So one is self-pollination and the second one is cross-pollination. So what are the two types of pollination? So one is self-pollination and another one is cross-pollination. So self-pollination, so basic concept already you know, that is the pollination, transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma is called the pollination. So self-pollination, so this takes place, that is, so you have the flower, you have the androecium, you have the gynoecium. It takes place in the same flower of the same plant. The transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the same plant. So this is called self-pollination and this takes place in the bisexual flowers. This takes place in the bisexual flowers and this does not need any agents for pollination. No agents is required. No agents is required for this pollination, and because so usually they are found in the same flower, so no new special characters will be formed from the seeds. Characters or species will be formed. No new species will be formed here. Cross pollination, so this takes place, so you have two different plants, two different flowers. So transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma, that is same plant of the different flower, or it will be transfer of pollen grain from the anther of this plant to the stigma of the another plant, to the different flower of the same plant or different flower of the different plant. So this will be possible in the unisexual flowers and it requires the agents for pollination and new character or new species will be produced. New species will be, or new characters will be produced by means of the cross pollination. And in the agricultural method, most probably this cross pollination is the best method. Cross pollination is the best method. So next we'll move on to, so already we have learnt about pollination, the methods and the types. So next we'll move on to the fertilization. So it is the second step of reproduction. So pollination is followed by fertilization. So what is mean by fertilization? So fertilization is the fusion of the male and the female gamete. Fertilization, so it's nothing but the fusion of male and the female gamete. So this is called fertilization. So after fertilization, zygote is formed. So this zygote develops its an embryo, and this embryo will be developing into an adult. So here we are going to study about that is the process of fertilization. So how this fertilization takes place. How this fertilization takes place. So already you have learned that is the pollination. So Okay, so once the transfer of pollen grains reaches the surface of the stigma, reaches the surface of the stigma. So after reaches the tip of the stigma, these pollen grains starts to germinate. The pollen grains starts to germinate, and finally they starts to form a tube like structure, so which is called the pollen tube, which is called the pollen tube. And this pollen tube starts to extend. They carry the male gamete, and finally they carry the male gamete to the female gamete. So inside the ovary, so through the style it enters the female gamete. So after that fertilization takes place, and that is the fusion of the male and female gamete takes place. So after that zygote will be formed, and that zygote develops into an embryo. So what are the post fertilization changes takes place after the fertilization. So post fertilization changes. So what are the changes takes place after the fertilization? So here you have that is the calyx, that is the green part. So they will be persistent, and they will be remaining on the surface of the fruit. They remain persistent, and corolla starts to withers or falls off. Androecium falls off. Pistil or the ovary develop into fruit, and ovule will be developing into seeds. So these are the changes takes place. So calyx remains persistent, corolla withers, androecium falls off, and in the gynoecium the ovary or the style or stigma also falls off. The ovary develops into fruit, and ovule develops into seeds. Ovule develop into seeds. So next we will move on to asexual reproduction. We will move on to asexual reproduction. So what is mean by asexual reproduction? So the plants which are formed without pollination or fertilization, that is by means of stem cuttings or by means of any other method. So this is called asexual reproduction. So not involved in this process, not involved in the fusion of male and the female gametes, not involved in the fusion of the gametes. So it does not involve what? Involved in pollination and fertilization. Pollination and fertilization. And here we are going to study about a few methods of asexual reproduction. So the first method is by means of vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. So usually you can see in potatoes you can see the buds, so which are referred to as the eyes. These buds are called the eyes of the potato. So these potato, they forms the leaves, and when they are buried it under the ground, they can grow into a new plant. So next method is by means of budding. So Budding. So next method is budding. So budding method is possible in the yeast. So already you have gone to bakery shop. Okay, bakery shop, you have seen the cakes and the breads. So it is very much soft in nature. The cakes and breads are soft in nature. So this softness is due to the yeast, so which are added to the dough used for making cakes and the breads. So this is a fungus, that is the yeast. Yeast is a fungus. So usually you can this kind of yeast is used in the bakery products. So they are used for making, that is the breads and cakes. So usually you can see that the breads and cakes are very much soft in nature. So that softness is obtained by means of this yeast. So these yeast are used in the fermentation in the bakery products. So here the yeast, they starts to grow and they will be obtaining, that is the produces bud like structure, and these bud like structure, they starts to grow bigger. So after attaining a certain stage, they get detached from the mother cell, and finally they can grow into a new individual. So by means of budding, they can reproduce. Next, so next one is that is by means of fragmentation. Next method is fragmentation. So fragmentation method is usually possible in many algae, that is in the algae, in some algae. Example is Spirogyra. These Spirogyra are filamentous in nature. The Spirogyra are filamentous in nature, and these filaments, so when they start to mature, they will be splitting up into many fragments. They will be splitting up into many fragments, and each fragment, they has the ability to reproduce themselves, and they can grow into a new filament. This small fragment or pieces can grow into a new filament. And next one is spore formation. Spore formation. Final reproduction. Asexual reproduction. Spore formation. So before learning into spore formation, so first you have to learn about what is meant by unfavorable conditions. So what are the unfavorable conditions? So when there is the scarcity of water or high temperature and scarcity of water, high temperature and nutrient deficiency in soil. That is where the plant or the seeds cannot grow. The conditions in which the plants or the seeds cannot grow are called as the unfavorable conditions. So scarcity of water, high temperature and the nutrition deficiency in the soil. So usually these spores are formed in the non-flowering plants. They are formed only in the non-flowering plants. Flowering plants produces the seeds. So usually they will be producing the seeds, but the non-flowering plants like algae, fungi, moss and ferns, they produce as tiny minute spores powder like spores. So these spores will be germinated by when the conditions are favorable. So when they have the proper amount of water or the correct temperature and the nutrient rich soil, so these starts to germinate. So we have studied, that is the in asexual reproduction we have studied about the vegetative propagation. Second one is the that is the budding, and the third one is the fragmentation, and fourth one we have studied about the spore formation. Hope you have understood this. And next we'll move on to the modification of stem, roots and the leaves.